We all know Kargil war took place in 1999. I won't call it a war, it was a conflict. Why it happened? If you are aware of the geography, from Srinagar, as you go towards Ladakh, Srinagar is due east and Ladakh is due west. So you have to cross the Himalayan range to come into Ladakh. And that Himalayan range, which has got one of the very strategic passes, that is Zojila, is one of the highest passes in the world. And that area is the place where it gets the highest snowfall in the world. As you come down from Zojila, another 30 kilometers, you have a place called Dras. Dras is supposed to be or believed to be the coldest place on this God's green earth. It is colder even than Siberia in winter. And our national highway goes from Srinagar to Ladakh, that is Leh, and then beyond, all along this particular range. And the area of Dras, and then you come ahead, Kargil, the mountain range totally dominates this road. I mean, you can literally, from the mountain peaks there, you can look down at the road down below. After 1971, Pakistan had always been looking for an opportunity to seek revenge of the kind of a drubbing that they got in 71. We split Pakistan into two, created a new country, Bangladesh, and that has really hurt them the most. So they are always on the lookout to seek revenge. And this particular operation was undertaken by Pakistani army in 1999. But before that, when Benazir Bhutto was the prime minister, and later on General Ziaul Haq became the president of Pakistan, this particular operation was talked about. But both of them said absolute no because they were worried about international repercussions. What they did in Kargil was we have line of actual control, which is de facto the international boundary between the Pakistan occupied Kashmir and India. And coming across the line of actual control had a lot of international repercussions. But Musharraf, the kind of a man he is, or was, he's still there, of course, staying somewhere in some small little flat in London, had the plan. And without asking the Prime Minister of the country, without taking his consent, he got hold of only two people, one Major General and one Lieutenant General, and three of them planned this operation. The Kargil area is absolute desolate. Above 9,000, not a blade of grass grows there. It is a very, very bad area. Only rocky rocks, rocks and rocks. In 1971, Pakistanis had tried an adventure there, but we had thrown them out. But this was always in their mind, especially in mind of Musharraf, that we must do something here. In winters, because of the very heavy snow and because of the, I mean, that is, like I told you, Dras is the coldest place on this earth. So the troops from both the sides used to withdraw down. The Pakistanis used to go on the other side, and our people used to come down to Kargil area. And after winter, the troops used to go back and occupy the place. This time what they did was, during winters itself, these people started pushing in the people. Earlier they said it was only the Mujahideen who were fighting for freedom of Kashmir and what have you. They are the ones. But actually it was the troops of the Northern Light Infantry. All these people are from the northern areas of Pakistan, that is part of Pak-occupied Kashmir, and all are hill tribes, very hardy people. So they pushed in almost two battalions worth, that means almost 1,000 people, or more than 1,000 people inside, and they came and occupied our post, which we were used to hold. And come summers, the, the first people to go up into these hills are the shepherds, and the army follows later on. Because the shepherds have to go and take their cattle and sheep for grazing. So on 3rd of June, the shepherds who had gone up came and reported down in the Kargil area that we have seen Pakistani troops there. ये हमारे लोग नहीं हैं, ये पार से आए हैं. So on 5th of June, we sent a patrol of a Jat regiment. This patrol was captured. Saurabh Talia, along with his 4 boys, they were captured. They were mutilated, and the bodies were returned. And that's the time we came to know that the Pakistanis have occupied these places in 3 sectors. One is Dras, which is towards the west. Then Mashko Valley, which is in the center, and Batalik sector, which is towards the western, eastern side. And then the plan started. Kargil at that time had only 3 units. One independent brigade was there, only 3 units, and it was well nigh impossible for these 3 units to evict these Pakistanis. Whenever we have to attack the enemy in plain areas, we have to muster 3 times the strength of the area which the enemy is holding with. So if the enemy is holding about 100 people in a particular area is being held by enemy with 100 people, we have to pump in more than 300 people to capture that area. That is the kind of a proportion that is required for an offensive operation in plains. This proportion goes drastically awry in mountains. To capture an area which is held by one man, we have to pump in 10 men. Even that we are not very sure whether we'll do it or not. Because of the terrain, because of the weather conditions and all that. So we had to muster troops. So we pumped in troops from the Kashmir Valley itself, and we got people from Ladakh also. And then we planned the operation and carried it out. On 15th of June, on 16th of June, the Indian Air Force launched what is known as Operation Safed Sagar and took on the enemy positions. And Indian Army offensive started on 26th of June. The going was very, very bad because you are going up and up and up. And these people were occupying dominating areas. Their aim was to cut Ladakh from rest of India and then take Siachen Glacier also along with it. With that aim, they started firing, and there was no movement that was taking place on this national highway. Whatever troops we moved in at night under the cover of darkness, and we carried out the operation. There were a lot of sacrifices made. On 11th of July, when Pakistanis learned that the area is no-go now, we have to give it up. So Director Generals of Military Operations of both the countries met, and they decided now we'll stop it. And on 14th of July, if you all remember, our Prime Minister then, Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee, said we have won this war, won this conflict. Operation Vijay is successful. Formally, the operation was called off on 26th of July. But we had to make many sacrifices. The official figures given by Indian Army are we got 523 people who made the supreme sacrifice. Here I see the names of 559 people. And about 1023 people were injured. Pakistani army firstly refused that they are their own people. They said these are Mujahideen. But later on, when our troops found out the documents and the letters, it was proved that these were the regular troops of Pakistan Army belonging to one regiment, that is the Northern Light Infantry. And that's how they later on accepted. Initially, in the initial phases of conflict, it was the Indian troops who buried their dead in the places where they were killed. It was our people, out of humanitarian aspect, buried those people. Pakistanis never bothered about it. And subsequently, of course. Initially, their official figure was 423. Nawaz Sharif was then the Prime Minister. In one of his talks had said we've got 4,000 killed. So the figures are varying. But I'm quite sure more than 1,000 people were killed from the Pakistan side. This area of conflict is very, very small as compared to the other conflicts that we have undertaken, right from 48 to 71 and whatever has been happening so far. But it was only the young leaders, the captains and the majors, who led all the attacks and covered themselves with glory. So right from 16th of June till 26th of July, that is the conflict took place specifically for, I mean till 11th of July we'll say. So in less than 30 days, we lost 523 men and more than 1,000 were injured. And because of the bravery, we got the maximum number of these boys were awarded with maximum number of awards. Never in the history of Indian Army, in this small area, in less than 30 days, in Kargil, the government of India awarded 4 Paramveer Chakras, out of which 3 were posthumous. 11 Mahavir Chakras were awarded and 14 Veer Chakras were awarded. This is the kind of a record that has been made as regards the conflicts that India has after independence has undertaken. Why? Only because of the kind of a bravery that was shown by people. People did not eat for, couldn't eat for 3 days. It used to take them 3 days to walk from the road to the topmost place. And that too against the very heavy shelling and firing from the Pakistanis. So this was saga which I thought I will tell you about. And before I conclude, may I request you to stand up for 1 minute in the memory of these brave soldiers.